Caroline Kenyon and I'm director of the Tiptree World Bread Awards Heroes USA with American Bakers Association. It's my huge pleasure to introduce to you Stephen Hallam, Master Baker, Managing Director of Dickinson & Morris and Chair of the Judges for our wonderful awards. I don't think it comes as a surprise to say to you that this has been the most extraordinary and challenging year. And under normal circumstances, I and my team would be absolutely popping with excitement at the prospect of flying across the Atlantic to be in Manhattan for our amazing judging day when bread arrives from all over the United States and our judges gather to debate and munch and decide which are the best loaves, and then we'll be going straight into the awards evening. But of course, that can't happen this year. It is the most bizarre, unsettling, disturbing year that I can remember of my life. And it's such a source of sorrow to us. But with my amazing team, we came up with something positive. And we thought that this year we would celebrate the heroes behind the loaf. So not the loaf itself, but all the wonderful bakers, the farmers and millers who've gone that extra mile for their community. And there have been so many incredible stories. So we are going to be announcing the regional winners of our Bread Heroes campaign and then the overall winner. But before that, I just want to say some thank yous. I want to say thank you to Tiptree, our amazing headline sponsor. Tiptree, for those of you who love jam, is well known across the United States as the most remarkable jam makers, but they're not just remarkable jam makers, they're wonderful people. They've been farming fruit for hundreds of years in Essex, in the east of England, and in fact it's Her Majesty the Queen's favourite jam. But they have also a very long-standing relationship with America and have been promoting and selling their jams since the 19th century. And they have supported us all the way. And it's the same with our other partners, the American Bakers Association. They've been our friends since we launched our American Bread Awards in 2018 and supported us all the way. When we said we can't judge the loaf, but we want to celebrate the heroes, they said, fantastic, we're with you. So huge thanks to Tiptree and American Bakers Association for all that you've done to help us to make this a really positive success story. So I'm now going to hand over to Liz Baker, who's marketing manager at Tiptree, and she's going to say a few words.
Thank you, Caroline. Hello from me, Liz, and all of us here at Tiptree. Tiptree have been involved with the awards since the beginning. We're very proud of the association and we love seeing how the awards and the community grows and grows each year. It's been a very different year this year, of course, a very tricky year for everybody. At Tiptree, we've had to adapt, as everybody has. For example, earlier in the year, our tea rooms closed and the tea room staff helped to pick the little scarlet strawberries on our farm, so they were part of our little scarlet army, which is lovely. It was a lovely idea to tweak the awards to celebrate the hard work, diversity and resilience of the bakery industry. We were awed and very impressed by the heartwarming stories which we read. Thank you to all of you who nominated and thank you to all of the nominees for those heartwarming stories. We wish you all the very best of luck. We're very excited to hear who the regional winners are. Good luck to everybody. Back to you, Caroline.
Thank you, Liz. That was wonderful. And now over to Washington, where our good friend, Rob Mackay, President of the American Bakers Association, is going to say a few words. Thank you, Rob.
Hello, Caroline. This is Rob Mackay with the American Bakers Association. And we're so proud and privileged to have been able to partner with you for this year's award ceremony. I know it's been a really, really challenging year, and I think it's just so special that instead of holding up the product, as great as it is, it's great that we hold up the individuals that have just been tireless in their efforts in feeding the world during the pandemic. It's a wonderful idea. We just celebrate the hard work, the diversity, and the resilience, especially the resilience of the people that are involved in the baking industry. I was so excited and just so overwhelmed with the incredible stories that we got to see about our bakers, feeding their communities, helping their local food banks, doing home deliveries, so many different stories. I could go on and on, but just these wonderful people that just stepped into the breach during the pandemic. Excited to hear about who the regional winners are. I want to wish them all the greatest of luck. All of you are winners. All of you have contributed to your communities. But I'm really excited to see who sort of stood above in this very, very tumultuous time.
Thank you, Rob. And now to the awards. So this year, the awards cover the 5 regions of the USA. The nominations we've received have been heartrending. How people have risen out of adversity to do what they've done so generously has seriously brought tears to not only the judges' eyes, but I have to say Caroline's and I, as we've read through them. All of the awards will be announced in reverse order. Could I mention that any social handle for tonight, you please use @BreadAwardsUSA and hashtag BreadHeroes20. Our first award is for our bread heroes in the Midwest. Runner-up is Paul Edward Montador from the Scotsman Kitchen and Bakery in Illinois. A self-taught baker, Paul changed his long-standing routine of attending farmers markets and set up a bespoke baking and delivery schedule for each and every one of his customers, and always going out of his way to ensure they not just received their order, but often included some extras for free. And our bread hero for the Midwest is Nate Hooge from the Break Bread Bakery in St. Paul, Minneapolis. Nate co-founded this subscription-based bakery, and they are a group of bakers and bikers who are as passionate for their community as they are for their craft. Delivering by bike, quite unique, Nate and his colleagues care for the people of their neighbourhood through donations, free giveaways, especially to people who are hungry, and much more besides. During COVID, they've been working double time to keep staff and subscribers fed and safe. Wow, what a start.
Absolutely. It does make me feel really emotional, Stephen. And I think, you know, we live in such a sort of celebrity and wealth obsessed society. And when you hear about these people who are just working so hard, so quietly, so modestly, they don't do it for attention, the TV cameras, or, you know, great acclaim. They just do it because they think it's the right thing.
It's in their psyche, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's who they are.
They don't have to do it either.
No.
They've just got stuck in and done it. So fantastic to both Paul and Nate for being runner-up, and of course our bread hero for the Midwest. Now we go to the Northeast. And this was a region with a number of not just strong, but very strong, extremely strong contenders. We have 2 runners-up. The first is Louis Proto from Luigi's Pani Bakery in Orleans in New York State. Louis set up his bakery in September last year. When the pandemic struck, he decided to donate all the proceeds from his online sales to local charities. Up to just, he's raised almost $11,000 and given away countless loaves to frontline workers and local charities. An exceptional amount of money. Our second runner-up is Judith Norrell from the Silver Moon Bakery in New York City. Judith and her bakery remained open during the pandemic and donated vast quantities of freshly baked breads to members of the community and facilities in need. Her joyful spirit and generous commitment brought sunshine to scores of homebound, sick and elderly residents for whom she gave a very personal service. And our bread hero for the Northeast is Stefan Gratia from Boulangerie Christophe in Georgetown, Washington. When lockdown struck, Stefan was immediately worried about the elderly and the disabled. He stepped up in a huge way. Over and above his day job as lead baker, he personally, 7 days a week, initially baked just loaves of bread, but feeling this wasn't sufficient, he then prepared full meals as well, all for distribution to elderly people who are confined to their homes. And he sustained this for many months. The judges particularly remarked that Stefan's hard work, his selflessness, compassion, generosity and endless service to others are all the qualities of a true bread hero.
Wow.
Gosh.
That takes the breath away, doesn't it?
It's very moving. Just
very much so.
Reading this and talking out about it, and yeah.
Some of the nominations that were written were so beautifully written and with so much passion and love, and it made you realise how these bakers have touched the lives. You know, just to give somebody a loaf seems like a simple gesture, but what it meant to the recipient at a time when people are so lonely and frightened. I mean, everything that we know about the world and society is being challenged, and has been challenged and will continue to be challenged.
Indeed.
And a loaf represents so much, doesn't it?
Indeed it does. And the judges have actually had a very tough time in separating all of these, because everybody is effectively recognisable as being a winner.
And we're just going to take a quick break and go over to Tiptree in Essex in the east of England to learn a bit about the wonderful heritage of this remarkable company who make, I've been told that the right word in America is preserves. They make the most wonderful preserves. So over to you at Tiptree.
Let me tell you a little bit about Tiptree, if I may. Tiptree is a village in Essex in England. The Wilkin family have been farming here since 1757. We have a big farm at Tiptree here where we grow all the fruit that we can. So we grow many different types of fruit. We're mostly known for our strawberries, but we grow other fruits as well. There's a lovely black and white picture here of a cherry picker from many, many years ago. Where we can't grow those fruits, we buy the best that we can. For example, we buy oranges from sunny Seville. We've been preserving since 1885, so we celebrated 135 years of preserving in June, earlier this year, which is great. We make many different products. We have the privilege of a royal warrant. So we were awarded a royal warrant in 1911 by King George V. You'll see it here on a jar here, up here. It's something we're very proud of. It's a real crest of honour, and I think it really helps us, particularly in export markets, as a badge of quality. So we're immensely proud of that. The Queen came to visit us in 2010, so 10 years ago, almost to the day, the Queen came here to visit Tiptree and was given a tour. There's a lovely picture of the Queen being presented a posy. That's Mr. Peter Wilkin in the middle, and Ginny, one of the long-term employees. Mr. Peter Wilkin is the great-grandson of our founder, Arthur Charles Wilkin. He's still very much involved in the business, which has a real family feel. We're a family business and employee-owned, which is wonderful. One of our products, which I'll just mention briefly, is our Little Scarlet Strawberry Conserve. So this is our speciality jam, as it were. Little Scarlets are a particular type of strawberry that we grow here at Tiptree. They're a very small, teeny tiny, hard to grow, hard to pick strawberry, worth it for their intense taste. So we make a jam from that, a Little Scarlet jam. It's mentioned in a James Bond novel, From Russia with Love. James Bond has Little Scarlet on toast, so that's a lovely story. But it's a very tasty, lovely jam, which is one of our better known products. We make many products, as I said, savoury products, far more than people realise. They're all made with cherished recipes, free from artificial colours and flavours. We make things in a very traditional way. We have a lovely picture here of some of our miniature jams and savouries in a lovely location there in London. We export our products to over 60 countries. We have done since the beginning. We began exporting from the beginning, and it's very important to us. We love seeing where our products end up. So please tag us on any pictures if you can, because we do love to see where our products end up, particularly in America. Thank you for listening.
The next award is for Bread Heroes in the South East. Runner-up is Christina Cann and Brett Biviora from Gulf Coast Sourdough Bakery in Tampa, Florida. Christina and Brett specialise in flavourful sandwich bread. For the months when schools shut down, they partnered with an organisation to help cover the students' lack of access to food during their school week and particularly at weekends by supplying, at cost, loaves of bread to the then very stressed out students. And our bread hero for the Southeast is Abigail Carter from Reidsville in South Carolina. Abigail is in her second year at the International Culinary Institute in Myrtle Beach. For 3 solid months, she provided bread baked in her own home without payment for a food distribution service in and around Reidsville. Her generosity brought a huge light to a community that truly was in desperate need of kindness and compassion. Baking is Abigail's passion, and she lives out her belief in that a passion is useless without a heart that is willing. So
that's wonderful. Yeah. And it just confirms my faith in humankind, and I do believe that men and women are fundamentally good. And you know, what could be a better way of showing your love for humanity than doing what Abigail did? And
it's how adversity is just people have risen to do this.
She's not even qualified yet.
No, she's out of her own home.
Yeah, extraordinary.
And absolutely refused to take any payment from the people that came to collect all the bread that she'd baked.
These people make me want to be a better person.
Hopefully it'll make a lot of people want to be better persons. So well done Christina and Brett, and well done to Abigail. Moving to the southwest, our bread hero is David and his brother Jose Caceres from La Panaderia in San Antonio, Texas. When restaurants were forced to close, the brothers realigned their business practices to provide essential items like bread, milk, eggs and much more to the people of San Antonio through introducing curbside collections and home deliveries. Very well done, David and Jose.
And now for our second break, where we go back to Washington to learn a little bit more about the heritage of the American Bakers Association, which goes back over 120 years.
The American Bakers Association was formed in 1897 at a time of transition from small bakers to more industrial commercial bakers and concerns about consumers' confidence in our product. So we approached the Department of Agriculture to come up with standards to ensure that our products were healthy and safe for American consumers. And today our mission is the same as it was then, although it's changed. One of the key moments, however, in ABA's history was in the 1940s when ABA partnered with the Department of the Army to ensure that our recruits that were going off to fight in World War II had the nutrition that they needed to address some deficiencies at the time. In the 1970s, ABA moved from its headquarters in Chicago to Washington to be closer to the Department of Agriculture and other agencies that it worked very closely with. I'm incredibly proud of this incredible industry, which continues to put food safety and consumer confidence in its products at the foremost, particularly during the pandemic. The ABA and its members has continued to work tirelessly to keep the country fed. We are also part of the Global Baking Network, and our global partners have done absolutely the same thing during the pandemic. I look forward to another 125 years of continuing to serve and partner with the global baking community.
And our final region is for our bread heroes in the West. So for the West, our bread hero is Catherine Curley from Seattle, who created the Northwest Bread Bakers Facebook group. This group hosts gatherings of both amateur and professional bakers. During the COVID pandemic, Catherine shifted the focus of the group to online and community building. Partnering with a local food bank, Catherine created the Community Loaves Project, which involves 100 volunteer bakers, each baking 4 loaves and donating 3 of them. And by so doing, they support 3,000 families a week. She organises all of this on top of a full-time job, as well as hosting virtual baking lessons, often with guest teachers. Congratulations, Catherine. Remarkable.
Fantastic. Just uplifting. Makes the day a better day.
Doesn't it just? Every day. So our final award is for our overall winner. Before passing over to Liz Baker, Marketing Manager of Tiptree, to announce our overall winner, I'd like to share some comments made by the judges. All the nominees had wonderful and inspiring stories, simply amazing. Whether established neighbourhood bakeries or relatively new home-based startups, every nominee has changed the way they operate to look after the most vulnerable in society at a time of real need. Congratulations to each and every one of them. I hope all these stories can be shared so people can see just how generous bakers are. What a group. And finally, it was very hard to decide who to pick. They are all heroes. And indeed they are. But we do have an overall winner. This is a person with a heart of gold who, if truth be known, would perhaps rather stay in the background, as service, helpfulness, and going beyond the extra mile just come naturally and is second nature. A famous statesman once said that we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Our overall winner has certainly made many lives through their volunteerism and made a remarkable difference in their local community. So we will now like to return to Liz Baker, Marketing Manager of Tiptree, to announce our bread hero.
Thank you. Such fascinating, amazing, selfless and heartwarming stories. It gives me great pleasure to announce the overall winner of the Tiptree World Bread Awards, Bread Heroes USA with American Bakers Association. The winner is Stefan Gratia from Boulangerie Christophe in Georgetown, Washington, D.C. Congratulations.
Many congratulations to Stefan Gratia for being our overall bread hero for 2020. What a remarkable achievement and what you have done for your community. So that is the end of our awards presentation, and I think it's so extra meaningful this year. Our American Bread Awards mean so much to us for so many reasons, and I think at the heart of that is friendship. Lots of people have said to me over here, how on earth did you and your team set up a Bread Awards in America? And I think all of us would say we have only met with warmth and love and friendship. The incredible judges who've given all their time and their knowledge and their expertise to us over the last few years, our wonderful sponsors, our friends at American Bakers Association, and of course always the support of Tiptree. And a huge thank you to you, Stephen.
I have great pride in being able to talk about colleagues in the baking industry throughout these awards. Very, very touching indeed. But of course, they wouldn't have the attention that they have had were it not for our fabulous group of judges. all over, wherever they may be, all over the USA. They've had a particularly difficult job this year because, as one of the judges said, they are all heroes and they had to pick between them, which they found very, very difficult. So my thanks go out to all of them indeed.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stephen. So well said. And above all, we send you our love. We hope that you stay safe, that your family and your friends are safe and well, and that we will all be together in person this time next year.
From all of us at Tiptree to the USA's best bred heroes,
Congratulations! Well, that's it for today from us all at Bread Heroes 2020. So it only remains for us to say congratulations!
Congratulations!